Hi.
Hi.
So, just want a quick question. Like, who has heard of Nuffnang? Raise out your hand. Nuffnang, raise out your hand. That's not a lot.
So sad.
So, quick one. Like, who are you?
Okay, hi. My name is Ming. I'm the co-founder of Netccentric. Netccentric is actually my holding company, and it's where we actually look to invest and in our own internet ideas and make them businesses and make money out of them. So I started this company in 2006 with my business partner. He's a Malaysian, Tim. And the most famous business, unfortunately not by poll of the audience here, is Nuffnang, which is our blog advertising community. And basically we serve advertisements to about 1 million blogs in the region right now and have offices in 7 countries. So
how many ad impressions are you serving right now?
I think it's something like 7 million unique visitors a day.
So how did the Nuffnang idea come about?
What happened was that basically me and my business partner, we were in London and we were about to graduate, so we threw 2 ideas into the hat. And my business partner was actually a blogger himself, and he was saying that, he was lamenting about how there weren't any options for him to monetize his blog because he had quite a decent readership. He was getting like 5,000-6,000 unique visitors a day. So then we thought, why not we come back to Singapore and Malaysia and start this network of bloggers in a mass way with the long tail to kind of bring a new tool out for the advertisers. So that's what we did, and we share the revenue with the bloggers, and it's a win-win situation.
Okay, so Singapore-based company, right?
Yes.
Okay, so not many.
Well, it's kind of like it's headquartered in Singapore, but a lot of our operations, the majority of our revenue, and a lot of our revenue comes out from Malaysia.
So basically, it's a Singapore startup, and
yes.
Grow to the company. Just want to make sure that the budding entrepreneurs here can get a sense of how big Nuffnang is. How much is your revenue?
I think you mentioned it in your article, so I'll stick to that. In 2010, I think our revenue is about 10 million Sing dollars.
Okay. So what is your revenue growth?
Revenue growth depends year on year, but before 2010, we were growing at
after
triple
2010,
digits.
It has to be after 2010.
Of course, I think once you get to the 10 million stage, it slows down, but we're still doing double-digit growth.
Okay. So going back to how you start, how did Nuffnang get big? And what do you do to make it scale so quickly?
How did Nuffnang get big? I think a lot of that comes down to just general luck. I think we were in the right place at the right time, and we also executed flawlessly. So I think, if anybody's going to tell you that luck is not involved, I think they're wrong. About 51% of it to me comes down to luck. I mean, other people call it timing, but there's no way you can read timing. There's no way. When the users pick it up, they pick it up. And when they don't, they don't. So basically, we're in the right place in the right time, and we did execute everything flawlessly as well.
So I understand that you had several people who want to acquire you. Before you before you actually expanded out of Singapore. Right?
Yes.
So who are those people who want to buy you?
Well, I mean, all the big media groups that you can think of at that point of time had already heard about us. So, like your SPHs, your media primas in Malaysia, all these people kind of approached us. But I just didn't like what they had to say to me, so I just didn't want to sell to them.
What did they say?
SPH controls 50% of advertising spent in Singapore. Do you want in or do you want out?
What is the deal?
The deal was, basically SPH controls 50% of media spend in Singapore. Do you want in or do you want out? And with a 7 times PE for you, so or 2 or 3 times multiple of revenue, which to me is like peanuts, right? Not enough for me.
So that was what's the valuation? But by at that time, what is the valuation?
At that point of time, it was something like 2 million.
2
million Sing.
Okay. They bought SG Carmart for 60 million.
I think maybe they've learned some lessons.
Okay. So if they would offer 60 million, you would definitely sell.
Oh, 60 million I would consider, but now we're much bigger than before.
How much?
Much bigger.
How much?
You'd have to pay for the information just like the market would have to.
Okay. So let's put things, for example, SPH comes to you, hey dude, we're going to buy you for 60 million, yes or no?
First of all, check the attitude again, because like,
Hi, Mr. Ming Shen.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Can I buy you for 60 million?
Well, it depends on what you want me to do. Like, if...
Also, 60 minutes around there, right? You can sense that it's not a straight no.
It's not a straight no.
Okay.
It's not a straight no. I mean, it would be silly to kind of say no to like a number that, money is money. Like anything can be bought, right? Anything can be sold. Willing buyer, willing seller. But ultimately, it's what they want with that 60 million. If they say 60 million and the rest of your 30 years of your life, then the answer is no, right? But if they say 60 million and then, maybe 2 years of my life, maybe yes, right? It just depends on what they want from me. Because there's always, everything is in the fine print. So I've gotten lots of offers, but at the end of the day, it's all about the fine print. And I can certainly live without, the money. Because we make money. And that's the key, I think, to any internet business. It's just to make money. Because if you make money, so what? Even if you're making less than other people, right? I fly business class. I have my lifestyle. My company supports that. But it's my company. Right? Otherwise,
how much money are you making?
More than enough to fly business class.
Okay. Can I travel with you next time?
Can.
Okay. I put it in the blog, please.
We thought we'd spice it up a little bit by being a bit more controversial. So, we welcome questions from the audience as well, especially no bullshit questions, because that's what I'm here for, I guess.
Okay. Anyway, so why did you reject SPH? I mean, it's kind of scary, right? Because they're really a huge media company, so they could replicate what you built and basically destroy you.
That is the most common argument I've heard time and time again. Even, my father, my mom, or people like that, I mean, I respect them very much. I respect their opinions. I go to them for advice. But one of the things that they say to me is one day Google's going to come over and they're going to take you over and they're going to take you down. They build something and they'll take you down. And I think probably at this point of time when we're a bit bigger, it's more possible. But when we're smaller, we actually have the nimbleness of being David versus Goliath and dancing around our bigger people, the bigger, bigger people out there, because we make decisions like that, and that's the key. I think the key is to be able to make decisions quickly, because if you make decisions quickly and you pivot quickly, then you're not afraid, right? Because whatever you can do, I can do, but I can do faster. Right? You have to do slower. You go through your chains of command. Larry Page and Sergey Brin is too busy wearing goggles. Then they're not gonna be that fast. So if you can be faster than them, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Larry Page and Sergey Brin will look at their board of directors footnote, right, and say, hey, we failed in this little project of ours here. That's all.
So throughout the entire journey as an entrepreneur, what have been the most difficult challenges so far?
There's so many challenges.
Rejecting acquisition offers.
No. Rejecting acquisition offers is always the easiest thing to do, I think, generally. As long as you have belief in yourself, and you have belief in your product, and you have belief in your team. Today, if you ask me...
Challenges.
Okay, sorry. Sticking to it then. Challenges...
Buying tickets for first class.
It's always difficult because it's always difficult because they're just challenges every day. We're like a firefighter, right? As an entrepreneur, you have one fire to fight, and then when you put out that fire, there's another fire that pops out somewhere, and you fight it, and then you go back to the other one. So there's always challenges. Once, for example, one of our programmers deleted our entire database, and we freaked out, right? Because all the codes and all the blogs and all the ad serving had gone, but then we got through it. And ever since then, recently, again, the same thing happened whereby a disgruntled employee of our hosting company actually deleted the entire database again. But then by now we had obviously had backups and things like that. And we still got over it. And the way I deal with problems and challenges now is different. We just go oh, it happened. Okay, what next? Not oh shit, it happened. It's kind of challenges are just there, right? They're just business.
So you expanded from Singapore to where are your global footprint?
Right now we're in Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Australia, China, Thailand, and we've just opened office in the UK.
Okay, so a lot of Singapore-based company find it hard to expand, right? So what are some tips that you can share with entrepreneurs who want to expand out of Singapore?
I think the key is that when you want to expand, there are two things that you can do, right? You can either go it alone, right? Or you can find a partner. For us, we have gone down the joint venture partner route. So we always try to find partners on the ground. But then we've also made mistakes, and those mistakes have set us back. The mistakes in choosing a partner. Because when you choose the wrong partner, then the person isn't dedicated or committed. I think when people think partnerships, they always think like big names. But in fact, when we think partnerships, we actually think individuals or people who are dedicated to it. And I think that anybody who is dedicated enough to a particular business, I'll consider as a partner. So I think that that's just the mantra.
So out of all the countries, which country is the most profitable?
Malaysia.
Why? Why Malaysia?
A mix. First of all, productivity. I think the productivity of the people there is good. Secondly, in terms of the market itself, market acceptance, and it's not like Singapore where like advertisers here are more kekau, right?
Define kekau.
Kekau means they want to squeeze everything out of you lah. Like squeeze the blood out of you lah. Whatever you have, just squeeze it out lah. Listen, if any of you have gone to pitch to any advertiser, if you've gone to pitch to somebody in Singapore, right, okay, do you get what I'm saying? They'll ask you for something more than you're giving, for sure, right? So always make sure that you price it double and then bring it back down. Because, in Malaysia, if it's a fair deal, they say, yeah, it's a fair deal, great, we'll take it. We give you the money, it's a fair deal. Here, no. Here will always be about hey, what value add can you give me? So the next time you give them this value add, you're going to get some more value add the next time. It's value add, value add, value add, right?
So besides Nuffnang, what other companies have you founded?
Quite a number actually. We started a social media seeding community called Chirp. Basically exactly the same idea as Nuffnang, but now we use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram users, people who are on social networks, right, to actually help us spread brand messages. So that's been pretty successful and growing at a pretty good rate. I think to the consternation of Facebook, of course. Other than that, we also have a online shopping mall called jibaban.com. And we also have a web development company and a online video producing company. So we do online videos.
So what do you think about the current entrepreneur ecosystem right now?
I think the current entrepreneur system just needs to needs a recalibration, as I've spoken to you before. I think you're asking me this question because I had quite a controversial answer.
No, very innocent. Yeah.
Well, the controversial answer is that the recalibration needed is that stop thinking about funding or getting that buyout, because at the end of the day, you've just got to focus on making money. I've seen so many, even though it's a very short time, I say, I've been only around for 6 years, 7 years. I would say that in internet landscape, that's about 14 years, okay, because it's about double the pace. And I've seen so many people come and go. And the reason why I think they come and go is because they just focus on getting funding, and once they get some funding and it doesn't work out, that's over. So actually, the focus should just be getting revenue in, at least to sustain yourself. Because once you're above water, right? Once you're above water, then you're free. You're free to creatively develop. But if you're not above water, then you can't do anything. You're always going to be bound. You're always going to be thinking about your next dollar. When's your next dollar coming in? So start lean. Be lean at the start, right? Okay. Grow something that makes money, that can cover some bases and cover almost all of the bases if possible, and then start looking to grow that base. And I think that's how we did it.
Do you invest in company?
Yes.
Then why you invest in them? You don't even believe in funding.
I believe in...
Gotcha.
I believe in people. So a lot of VCs say this. A lot of VCs say this, but it's not true. When I invest, I would invest in a person. I will look at the person and I'll say, is this person, like dedicated? And do I see that he's going to stick through it? And is he a true entrepreneur, actually? There is a true entrepreneur. Lots of people want to call themselves entrepreneur, but do they know what it means? Like, what it means is that if you fail, you continue. But maybe in a different format, in a different way, but you continue.
So what is, to your definition, what does a true entrepreneur mean?
A true entrepreneur, firstly, is willing to take risk. So that means, like, in all honesty, risk your own money, risk your own time, risk your own effort, risk your own life. I think that's critical. And secondly, it's to kind of like take failure in its face and kind of like just do it, and if you fail, continue doing it. Because even today when we have kind of like, we've grown like to a certain extent and we've got money to play with, right? We're at the next phase and we've always got to come up with the new products, right? So we've got to put that money in that we've created into creating new products, and that becomes a problem in itself. It becomes an internal argument, right? About how much of our money should we put into new products. And you know what? How much of the money I would put in? Everything besides my salary. I don't take a $1 salary, but I take a salary that's good enough for me to enjoy my life, and all the rest of my profit, if it was up to me, would go back into the company to develop new products.
What new products are you developing?
Can't tell you. There's so many internet entrepreneurs out here. They take one of my ideas, then how they
They're all
execute
nice people,
faster
they
than
won't
me.
copy, it's okay.
We're in Asia, dude.
Okay. So, last few questions. What is the future of Nuffnang?
I think, when people ask me what is the future of Nuffnang, within the company we've built up enough structures and systems and enough competencies to kind of innovate within the company and drive out good products from within the company and ensure that our revenue bases continue to grow. But for me as a co-founder, if I was just focusing, especially of a tech company, if I was just focusing on that one company, I think you better shoot me. I think the future of Nuffnang is the future of Netccentric. The correct question is, what is the future of Netccentric? Because the future of Nuffnang, in all honesty, everything goes up and everything goes down, right? So now, I don't think we're at the peak of producing revenue yet. I still think there's a lot of growth. But maybe get to 30 million, 40 million, right? Okay, but then what next? I need a product that's going to create like $1 billion or $2 billion or whatever it is, right? And I'm always going to be looking for that product.
Okay. So last question. So if Tech in Asia were to buy your company for 60 million, will you say yes, Mr. Ming Shen?
You want 60 million? Okay, well, first of all, this is how my thought process would go. Half of it go to me, right? Because half of it goes to my partner. So 30 million, right? I would probably say no.
Yeah, actually, we don't have the money. Thank you very much.
Thank you.